It was a Friday night, and I nervously sat at the dimly lit bar, waiting for my blind date to arrive. We had been set up by a mutual friend, and I had been looking forward to meeting this mysterious stranger for weeks. As the minutes ticked by, my anxiety grew, and I began to wonder if they would even show up. Finally, a figure approached me from the shadows, and I stood up to greet them. Their voice was smooth and confident, but something about it sent a shiver down my spine. I couldn't quite place it, but there was a sinister undertone to their words that made me uneasy. As we sat down to have drinks and get to know each other, I tried to shake off my unease and focus on the conversation. But the more we talked, the more I realized that my blind date was not who they claimed to be. They knew things about me that no stranger should know, and their questions grew increasingly invasive and personal. I felt like I was being interrogated, and I began to fear for my safety. I excused myself to go to the restroom, hoping to collect my thoughts and come up with a plan. But as I looked in the mirror, I saw something that made my blood run cold. There was a message scrawled in lipstick on the mirror, written in a shaky hand: "You're in danger. Get out now." I stumbled back in shock, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew I had to leave immediately, but as I made my way back to the table, I saw my blind date watching me with a malevolent glint in their eye. I pretended to be calm as I gathered my things and made my way towards the exit, but I could feel their gaze burning into my back. I knew I was not going to make it out of this unscathed. As I stepped outside into the chilly night air, I realized that I was being followed. He was stalking me, lurking just out of sight as I hurried down the deserted streets, trying to find a way to escape. I ducked into an alley, hoping to lose them in the darkness, but they were relentless. I could hear their footsteps echoing behind me, getting closer and closer with each passing second. Panic set in as I realized that I was being hunted, and I knew that I was running out of time. I had to think fast if I wanted to survive the night. Rounding a corner, I saw a flickering light up ahead and ran towards it, hoping to find some semblance of safety. But as I burst into the abandoned warehouse, I knew that I had made a grave mistake. He was waiting for me, a twisted smile on their face as they revealed their true intentions. They had lured me here to play a sick and twisted game, and I was the unwilling participant. As I tried to make a run for it, they lunged towards me, their hands reaching out to wrap around my throat. I fought back with all the strength I had, knowing that my life depended on it. In the darkness of the warehouse, the battle raged on, a deadly dance of predator and prey. I knew that I was fighting for my life, and I had to do whatever it took to survive. Just when I thought all hope was lost, I saw a glint of metal on the ground and reached for it, my fingers closing around a rusty pipe. With one final burst of adrenaline, I swung it towards him, connecting with a sickening thud. As their body crumpled to the ground, I knew that I had won the fight for my life. But as I stood there, shaking and covered in blood, I realized that this was only the beginning of a nightmare that would haunt me for the rest of my days. And as I stumbled out of the warehouse, gasping for breath and praying for safety, I knew one thing for certain: I will never go on blind date again.